Hi guys. I am here with the 2016 FGC East Coast Player Spotlight winner, Scamby. Um, I can't remember all your sponsors. I know you were part of KPB, Kick Punch Block, as well as DCB, Dynamic Custom Beadworks, and there's another one in there. Who is that?
That one's SDG. It stands for Silent Demon Gaming.
I'm sorry?
Silent Demon Gaming.
Oh, okay. Um, so I want to congratulate you on winning this month's spotlights. Um,
Thank you.
you're welcome. So, to start off, I wanted to ask you, how long have you been playing fighting games, and is there any others that you play competitively besides Ultimate Marvel vs. Capcom 3?
Well, if we're going by FGC in the professional terms, I've been in the FGC playing fighting games for about 2 years now, but overall, I've been playing since I was like 7 years old, starting with Street Fighter 2. And from there on, it was just more like a competitive thing. Like, even though if I was a casual player, I was always competitive with my brothers and some friends. And the other games I would normally play competitively. Before Marvel, I actually started playing Smash Brothers Melee. That was my first competitive game. And I've been playing with some of my friends, sometimes with my cousin, sometimes with Bum, and they helped me get up there like more professionally. And then
Mm-hmm.
that's how I got introduced to Marvel. Because eventually I was like, okay, Melee is too much for me to keep up with. I'm gonna just focus on life. Then Marvel happened.
And then Marvel happened. That seems to be the trend, right?
And then Marvel happened. But
And then
besides that, like currently, besides that game, it's Smash 4. I'm playing competitively.
Smash 4. That is one I didn't know.
hmm
Who do you play in Smash?
I play Villager, Ryu, and Sonic.
So you got some characters in there that a lot of people aren't known for playing in Smash.
Yeah, I
Like
always like
like
to be
Villager.
oddball. Yeah.
I'm the same way, so I completely understand. Considering my main in Street Fighter is T-Hawk. So
It works. It works.
gotta change it up sometimes. Um, so speaking of Ultimate Marvel vs. Capcom 3, your team in Marvel is Wesker, Nemesis, and Chris, otherwise known as Team Resident Evil. So, what attributes do these characters have that you believe give them good synergy?
The best way to describe that is that they have no good characteristics that gives them the team synergy. It was more of what I've built to make that happen into a great team synergy. Like some of these things just don't fall together, and it literally all breaks down into the character mind. Some characters have that automatic given, like Doctor Doom. He is synergy by himself with anybody. He works with Magneto. There's a lot of things people work with, and you
Mm-hmm.
have characters that just don't work together at all, and then people make something out of it, and it creates the synergy. Like
So, sorry, go ahead.
I was going to just use the perfect example. Like I played a landmine assist with Chris. It's not really a good. I'm literally being honest. It's not a good assist in general, not even neutral. But the fact that it's there, people underestimate it because this game is too fast paced where everybody wants to be rushed down heavy and want to be in everyone's face. And I need to get too close to people. And instead of me having to chase them, I feel better with them coming to me and hanging themselves through an assist like that.
Okay, so you like taking characters that don't work well together and putting them together and then figuring out how you can make their moves essentially work together.
Hey, yeah, you got to make the unparable parable.
Interesting. I like it. So, which characters are your worst matchups? Which are the easiest and why?
Are we referring to as my
Marvel.
character?
Yeah.
Like,
So like which other characters in Marvel, which other teams with your team are your worst matchups? Which are your best? And essentially, why do you feel your team is good against these particular characters, and why do you feel they're bad against other characters in Marvel?
All right, for the worst characters in general, I struggle against any type of keep away characters, and that's essential for my team. Even if I put Gunfire Assist for Chris to make it a little easier for me, I still struggle against strong keep away. Like, Morgan is a hands down. She doesn't even need the assist of Dr. Doom or anything else that just keeps her soul spamming. Her alone destroys my team in terms of keeping away, because it's hard to chase her, hard to get around the sister stuff. And Deadpool's another one that I struggle with. And Magneto every now and then. As long as Nemesis dies, Magneto is another struggle for me because he's too fast and he's always high in the air. Like, anybody that usually has a flight mechanic and can go past the borders of super jump height is a struggle for my team, let alone me, because they can always have setup options to just, hey, I can't avoid you. I mean, sure, everybody tells me they have to come down eventually, so Chris can always set things up, but how much time will it take up? How can I set that to happen? And in the long run, if I do manage to hang a character, will my incoming kill the next flight character? And if I don't, then I have to repeat the same process, and I'll possibly lose by timeout eventually. So mostly I'd say all flight characters I lose to, with Morgan being number one on the list and then Magneto being second. And then for favorite characters, I favor against a lot of ground rushdown heavy characters. Like Wolverine, for example. I love fighting Wolverine. I can't fight him with Chris or Wesker, even though I could do something with Wesker, but with Nemesis it's easier because these characters can't kill Nemesis on his health, and they would have to burn a few resources or at least risk TACing, so it'll give me a chance to gamble if I do get hit. But besides Wolverine, I like fighting Zeros and Virgils. Sure, they're like the best characters, and even people are like, oh my god, it's Virgil, and it's Zero. These are like the best game. But I have that, I literally entered the FGC with the mentality, just like my friend Punisher. It's 2015 at the time, and now it's 2016. We've been watching this game and going with this game too long to not know what to do against Zero or Virgil. The only person who is literally unstoppable to any of us should be Morgan.
Right. No, yeah. I agree with you. I mean, Morgan, she can definitely be tough, especially when she starts going in on you with all those fireballs. Yeah,
and especially what makes it unfair is that she's the only character that can flight cancel out of any special move. The only one.
Is that true? She's the only one that can flight cancel?
Yeah, like this character that can flight cancel out of normals, but in special moves she can do Soulfish, Shadow Blade, and then just flight and then do other stuff. And if she makes a mistake after doing a special move, unfly, and she can block again.
Oh wow, that seems.
Yeah. She's literally the most safest character. Yeah, it's really hard to catch her. The only way to really catch her is based on the opponent's mistakes.
All right, I'll have to check that out again. I haven't played Marvel in a really long time. I will admit that it's been a while. It's on my PS3, which I haven't taken out ever since I got my PS4. So, but I'll check it out again. So, who is the toughest player that you ever fought against, and why? Were they a challenge for you?
That's gonna be rough because I have like 3 players I can consider a tie.
Okay, well, if you consider it a tie, then.
Yeah, number 1 definitely goes to Cosmos because his team is literally in my opinion, and I'm pretty sure anybody else would agree with me on this, especially the stream. He plays the whole Mora Doom Virgil shell, where it's the best shell in the game. Like, there's no weaknesses behind it. Everything picks up after itself to keep her going. And if she fails, Virgil Missiles is there to back it up afterwards. And Cosmos is at that level where his Doom is definitely way past par. And he's already proven it, winning a few majors, and even beating Chris G like twice in the same tournament, back-to-back, running it back and everything. And it is what it is. He's beaten many players to prove it, and that team is strong. Mm-hmm. And he's already growing the mindset behind it that for me, even if I start to learn what he's about, that team itself is still holding down in general, it's brain dead. It's just completely brain dead. And then the next person that I feel is the biggest struggle with that would be Ray Ray, simply because he's too fast. His thought process is so fast, and his reactions are so fast. So that every time I feel like I got him, oh, Ray Ray made a mistake, I'm punishing him. He didn't. It's like, okay, fix. It's just immediate. And then I was always told with a mindset where people felt that, and it's kind of true to me, that if you kill Magneto, the fight against Ray Ray is kind of easier. It doesn't feel that way. It definitely didn't feel that way. I mean, I could say it moved a lot slower, but it was definitely a struggle right there. I mean, like, his character's still fly. He still has the fast-paced movement, and his brain is working way past the levels of how he said it is securing the win. Yeah, he's definitely in there to secure the win, no matter what. He can lose one or two characters. If he can secure his win, he's good. And that's something he's been teaching me, and I can't seem to get that against him. And then the last person I would have to say would be Noel Brown, because I started actually getting a lot more competitive through words he told me one time. I was one of those players that I felt that I was the best already, even though I probably never made it out of pools, and I'm going to beat you, I'm going to be better than you, I don't care to say, you suck, you suck. And then Noel was there one time. He's like, you're never going to be good if you're never going to leave this, and that. Don't even bother money matching people and trying to call out people that's not even known, because you're not even going to be cared for. If you're trying to get out there, change your whack team and do something better about it, or improve your game. If you're going to keep playing with that team, don't get mad about your team losing. You should blame yourself for picking the team. And then it reached a point where I think it offended me, and I got upset, and I attempted to, like, try to play him, even go for, like, a money match, and he literally gave me the warning of, don't do it because I'm light years ahead of you. And he was right. Like, I wasn't going to beat him. I was not going to beat him. It was a guaranteed loss on my part. So I didn't play, and then I took his words as great advice, got better, and then he was literally the stepping line for me to become the player I am today. Because after that was the tournaments I entered at bums, at majors, and every position that I came across, Noel Brown was my gatekeeper.
So,
and
go ahead.
I'm sorry.
No, I'm sorry. I thought you were done. No, go ahead.
I mean, it would reach the point, the best way to say is I finally broke that borderline where I feel where I've made it was ECT. Because he literally, like I said, he was my gatekeeper. I will never beat him in tournament. And the most I've ever gotten on him would ever be like one game. And he'll always beat me like 3-1 or 3-0. And now I can go back and forth with him, and ECT was the stepping stone of me passing through that borderline. Like, I'm no longer stuck.
So Noel Brown is somewhat of an inspiration for you when it comes to Marvel and the competitive scene?
Yes, he was definitely the motivator. Like, if it wasn't him getting to you as a friend to help you get better, then it would be him more getting to you in a competitive manner, saying how much of a bad player you are, and your goal was to either show him that you're doing good or just to shut him up, whichever. Any of the goals, regardless of the goals is, you're getting from A to B, and he's literally helped me get there a lot. A lot.
That's good. I feel it's always good for a player to have that one other player that kind of motivates them, or players that kind of sit there and they motivate and they try to help you improve in whatever way is successful and working for you. If the way Noel Brown is encouraging you or saying you need to get better, giving advice is working for you, then that's great. So wait, did you actually have that money match, or did you decide to listen to him and not do it?
I actually listened to him. I didn't do it. This is when I wasn't ready. But in general, like, me and him are great friends, and I listen to a lot of the things he say, whether it comes to advice, whether he's coaching me or coaching the other person. A lot of the advice he gives me, I always listen to, because I've always been trained with a bunch of friends, including other teammates like Punisher, people at the house, at the HOC, Ray, and all. I literally listened and got trained by every one of these players but he was that player that was always setting the line for me to cross. He was like, if you want to get better, you'd cross this. And I would want to do it my way instead of the way that he would set it out for me, besides other players, because other players believe in what I can do. Other players feel that I can accomplish more if I just drop the characters. Like, Wesker and Chris is good, drop Nemesis. Pick up Virgil, pick up Doom. Or drop the whole team and keep one of them and then just make it work, as long as it's not Nemesis or something like that. And I told him, no, Noel's right, I can do this. I'm going to do it my way, though. If I'm going to lose, Noel's right again. I lost because I listened to myself. I chose to pick bad characters. I'm not going to blame the characters. I'm not going to be like, oh, my characters suck. It was my fault. I had the choice to go to character select. So I'm going to do this, and I did it.
Well, I definitely respect that, and I'm glad that you're not listening to other people telling you that you should drop those characters. I know that's happened to me. People are saying, why are you playing T-Hawk? Just play Ryu, play this person. You know you're not going to win. And I'm like, well, I don't feel like those are the characters I want to play. Like, I don't feel like they resonate with me. I have no interest in maining that character, so I'm not going to main it. If it's going to be difficult for me, if I'm not going to, if it's going to take extra time, then okay. It's going to take extra time and extra work, because this is essentially the character, or in your case, characters that, you want to play. And, if Noel Brown is encouraging you to stick with those characters, I think that's great for you to not give up and keep up with that.
Oh, man.
What is
That's actually the last advice Noel would give me. He actually wants me to switch my characters. He would never tell me to stick with these characters. He's just appreciating the fact that I'm taking his advice in terms of like neutral and improving my gameplay all around. But
okay.
But even he wants me to switch my characters.
Well, more power to you for not switching your characters and staying true to who you feel is the best matchups for you.
Oh yeah, most definitely. Because now that you mention it, like I said, Nemesis. That's another thing I didn't realize. Because even Bum explained it to me. Those high tier characters, for Nemesis being such a bad character, he fights those high tier characters well. Like, he has the distance, he has the range, and the flight character that I can't reach, Nemesis can reach.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay, well, moving on with Marvel vs. Capcom 3. So, it's been pretty known across the board for the whole FGC pretty much that Marvel has been, there will be no other Marvel game. At least as of right now, it's highly unlikely with Disney fully taking over Marvel. But despite that, Marvel has ended up in EVO again after there was a lot of speculation that it was going to be dropped from the tournament. So my question to you is, do you think this is the last year for Marvel at EVO, or do you think it can withstand everything and make it into next year's EVO, with the FGC now transitioning into esports and us going through the changes that we are?
I would say all this would really depend on the viewers and those that put it on demand. And us players, we can always do our part and ask for these things or fight for it. But it always falls down at the end of the day to the viewers. Hey, do you want to see Marvel? Do you like seeing Marvel? Is Marvel making things hype? And what helps bringing up the hype, I'm not trying to like feed my own ego here, because it's definitely not me, but like players like me who are character specialists on characters you don't see ever, like my team or Punisher's team or even Fizzy's team or even Jesse's team, for example, like teams like that would make top 8 and put a fight to those consistent top 8 teams we see is what's creating the new hype and is what's keeping the game alive. Like, people were getting tired of Marvel, and Marvel was a dying game. Marvel's dead to everybody, and this game's going to die soon. And my response of why I felt people thought that was because we keep seeing the same teams, top 8. Moira Doom, Magneto, Doom Virgil. Oh, Magneto's All the high tiers are always in top 8. And then now within 2015, that was the breaking year where all the low tier characters or low tier specialist players started making a shine for such teams and such characters. Like I, for myself, I made top 8 ECT and TFC. Then Punisher, he did a few with Rocket Raccoon and MODOK. And then you have Jesse now breaking his top 8 at KIT, along with Fizzy as well. This is his first top 8 with Frank West and Dante Magneto. It's just the characters that we never see in these video games placing high, now creating a new audience to see, wait, how did he do this? Who beat this player? Wow, this person just lost. This person's a god, though, or this person's a high-tier player. How is he losing to this person? Then everything just falls into place. That's what's creating the viewers. And I feel that Marvel can live another year as long as when EVO comes, those unexpected players make top 8 again, especially for EVO. Like, if I make top 8 at EVO, along with one or maybe two more low-tier specialist characters, EVO would definitely be the stepping stone. It will be the hype stage. We have to break more records, and it will definitely last another year because viewers will be hype, viewers will be happy, and things will just go well.
Right, and I definitely agree. I think that the reason why Marvel is still standing as strong as it is definitely because of the viewers that keep watching. But it lies heavily as well, not just on switching up the characters and the matchups and giving them something new to see, but I think it also relies on your dedication. You have all the Marvel players, I mean, are incredibly dedicated to making sure that it stays hype and it stays relevant and that there's new Marvel content being put out. Like, for example, Persia, she's been doing a lot to try to help keep the Marvel scene up to date and help it even continue to grow. So I think that I personally think it will last another year as long as what you said continues to happen and people continue to dedicate their passion into the game. I do think with the whole esports switch, though, that the focus is going to go a lot more into what's going to bring out the most players, what's going to bring the most viewership and things like that, just certain business decisions. So as long as, like I said, that hype continues, I agree. I do think it will last. I actually think it's great that it's lasted this long, and I'm happy they decided to put it in EVO. Even though I don't main the game, I know a lot of players like yourself that do, and you know the game a lot better than I do. That's for sure. I tried to main it, and that didn't last. But
I mean, it's very fast paced, so I understand. But once you get the buttons down packed and you learn your special moves from there, it just falls down under neutral, what to do versus what not to do. Things like that happen. And there's plenty of us that can teach players that understand the game very well. And it's just that I just feel that certain people like to join the game for the wrong reasons. Like, now we have more Marvel players. It's like, I want to play Marvel. Why? It's on EVO lineup. Good stuff. That means after EVO, you're dropping it. Okay. And then I have other players who are picking it up and want to get good at the game just to hey, I want to be part of the scene. So they'll learn a top tier team just to keep up. And then I actually had a few players that actually asked me for advice, sort of didn't like my advice, but followed through with it anyways. And it kind of helped them perform okay. And then from there, they just have to learn from certain other players because they asked me, hey, Scamby, who do you feel like I should play so I can go with the game, to go with such and such character? And I named some suggestions, but I told them, honestly, if you want the honest truth, play whoever you like and then just make it work. If you can make it work, it's fine.
Right. I mean, I think the thing is with me is I'm stubborn about the characters that I want to play. So, like yourself, I'll pick, obviously, the most complicated characters to put together. Like, for me, when I was picking characters for Marvel, I didn't when I was playing it, I didn't pick it based off of who I thought would work well together. I was like, okay, I love Phoenix, so I'm going to play Phoenix, knowing everything about her and, her.
Yeah.
God, she, so much damage from one hit can be done to her. It's insane.
Practically.
But
You have to press the safe.
right, and which is not particularly great for me because I am known to want to go in, so I had to learn to be patient. um, and Virgil and X23, and I was just picking random. I'm like, I don't know about X23, maybe Ghost Rat. Like, I was just like picking characters, and they're like, well, why don't you pick that? I'm like, no, like that character's not interested to me. So I think that was kind of more of like a struggle that I faced as opposed to other players, is just character choices. But getting back on topic here,
Yeah.
um, what are your goals for the FGC for the 2016 year?
Well,
What's like a few things that you want to accomplish this year in the scene?
besides more top eights or even me winning a major, um, I never really put too much thought on what my goals are because me entering the FGC originally was just to like demonstrate to those you can make it as far as you can as long as you play what you like and just work for it. I mean, I
Mm-hmm.
didn't really have a goal behind it, but just delivering a message because I got into it being inspired by a friend, like, oh, Justin Wong won a major. Look at the team he's playing. Yo, he's so cool. This and that. And then it was like, oh, we're never gonna win because we're playing such garbage characters. I don't know how Justin do it. And I'm like, yeah, I shouldn't have to just look at him. Be like him. Well, be better than him. Aim to do good. Just try it, and then that's it. That's the only message I'm trying to deliver. Make a top eight, and then, hey, you see, I made it. That means you guys can make it too. Just work for it. You can't just have it given to you.
So if you could give advice to a new player coming in to the scene that wants to play Marvel after all these players are already established, what would your advice be to them on how they could get up to that competitive level?
Um, the first thing I would ask is, depending on who they play, I like, listen, play who you like to play. Don't follow the trend just because you want to win. If you're not having fun in the game, you're gonna overwork your brain. You're gonna get hurt. Play what you like. If you like the top tier characters, then that's fine. Play them, but have fun while you're behind it. Don't think too hard about it. And every loss is a lesson learned. You don't have to feel down about it. Just understand why you lost, see why you lost, what you can do different, and then just pick up on it. Always learn new things. Every loss is something new. And if you win, then definitely celebrate. Yeah.
Well, you definitely got to celebrate if you win.
That means you did nothing wrong. And if you did something wrong and it still worked out, then that means your opponent did something a lot worse. But who knows? The point is celebrate when you win and then learn when you lose.
Definitely. So which events are we going to see you attend this year? At least ones that you know that are definite and ones that you're not 100% sure on.
Well, the most definite is Undefeated coming up soon. That's a weekend before Winter Brawl. That's going to be in Arizona, so I will be there. That's the next one I'm attending. For sure, for sure. Then I'm attending Winter Brawl and then Final Round. And then from there, I'm taking a long break just because I need to catch up with real life.
Mm-hmm.
And then I will be attending CEO and then the long-awaited EVO that everybody's been asking me to go to. Because I kind of made an attempt and a promise for EVO for 2015, but I couldn't do it because personal reasons. Life definitely hits hard.
Yeah, unfortunately, money in life, it can get in the way sometimes of tournaments.
Yeah, especially work. My boss definitely made me decide between CEO and EVO, and I chose CEO.
For this year, you mean? Or last year?
Last year, 2015,
Last
that's
year.
what I chose at the time. This
So
year, I'm attending both. It's a guarantee for sure. Those are the for sure events.
nice. Well, I will see you there.
Definitely.
So this last question is my signature question that I like to ask everybody. If you could be one superhero and one fighting game character, who would it be and why?
Well, for superhero, that's a good one. Superhero, I would have to give it to I definitely would have to give it to Captain America. He's definitely militarized. Like his whole military background is mad cool. He's a weapons specialist, and he's definitely a guy that uses a shield that's stopping everything. So I was like, oh yeah, you're a god. You're a god among. I gotta be you. I just wish I can definitely super jump as high as the game is making you do, but yeah, I would have to give it to America. I like his character background, the whole flow to him.
Mm-hmm.
And then, as far as video game character, it would have to be my favorite character, Chris Redfield. Because he is literally the definition of a human breaking his limits to get a job done. Like, I don't know if you played the Resident Evil series or if anybody on the stream is a fan of the Resident Evil series, but he was a police officer coming straight from the U.S. Air Force, going into the zombie apocalypse. Doesn't know how it happens, but he just happens to see a case looking for fellow police officers that went on a case that went missing, and then they get caught in that. And then he finds out his team captain is behind it all with a company, and then things happen. He dies. Now the guy has powers, and you're like, oh my god, I just got beat up really bad, and I could have died. Time to hit the gym. I got to make sure I'm ready for it. And this man is extremely bulked up, punching boulders. I mean, that's the joke of the year. I mean, he did punch a boulder into a volcano to save his partner, but like, wow, bending limits. Like, it's the morale of like, I can't lose. I have to win. Like, there's a lot at stake if I lose. That never give up by any means. Like, and that's the definition of what Marvel is. Pixel health. Don't give up. And I think I've had a few miraculous moments on that because I started posting up hype videos where I took clips from some of my matches and then just post up like I think a quick 20 to 40-second video clip of what hype moment situation happened. And I think the best example was where I got a happy birthday on my friend Punisher with Pixel Chris, where he should have won the match, and I ended up winning with literally no health on Chris and no X Factor.
Nice.
Yeah, and it was a hype moment that I'm never forgetting because it was literally the definition of never give up.
Awesome. Well, congratulations again on winning the 2016 FGC East Coast Player Spotlight. I will be uploading this on YouTube for those that missed it, and I'm definitely looking forward, as I'm sure the viewers are, to seeing what you bring to the FGC this year, and good luck. I hope that you get not only in more top 8s, but I hope that this is the year you finally win a major.
I hope so too, and I'll try to land a few more level 3s with Nemesis for you guys.
All right. Well, thank you guys so much that tuned in to the stream. If you want to follow Scamby, you can go to twitter.com/Scamby820. His Facebook link is also down there as well if you want to add him on Facebook. Please subscribe to me as well, as I will be doing monthly Player Spotlight interviews, monthly interviews in general, and the monthly talk show. I will also be streaming gameplay videos. I will try to do that twice a week. I'm trying to get better about that, guys. But either way, I hope you guys have a great night, and I will see you soon.
Nice stream.